Hey everybody, Rob Smith, current president of the Glen Owners Association, one of the members of the board of directors, as per the mandate that you have to be on the board to be the president. I did not do the inspection. I had nothing to do with the inspection other than being a board member and saying, yeah, we need to do an inspection. However, even though I didn't do the inspection, I 100% support it. 100% support it. And I'm going to stand behind the inspection to include the fact that I got a letter saying that I need to move my trash can because they're right. I need to move my trash can. I also pressure washed my home recently and put a video out telling everybody, hey, this is how you pressure wash your home because I foresaw what just happening. Now, I should also point out there are house wash products out there. I was just talking with somebody earlier. They've got one of these things you hook up to your hose and they spray the building and it washes everything, mostly mold off, which is probably what 90% of the neighborhood needs. So I got a couple people from the neighborhood. I got a bunch of people actually from the neighborhood who asked me, hey, can you come by and point out exactly what's wrong with my home? First of all, I did go do that for a few people. I went over and specifically looked at the house with my own eyes because I didn't do the inspection and I wanted to see what did they talk about? Were they right? Was there a problem? And what I found so far is, yeah, they were 100% right. Now, is your house as bad as some of the other houses in the neighborhood? Probably not, but I don't care about your neighbor's house. I care about your house. And that's what I care about as far as from a personal point of view. I don't care about my neighbor's house. I care about my house. Once my house is nice and clean and I live in a perfectly pristine glass house, I can then throw stones at my neighbor. So rather than pointing out your neighbor's house to me and saying, hey Rob, look at this green and how terrible it looks, let's just focus back on your home. The gutters are pretty much what I see most people missing. When I walk up to a house and I look at it, you can see the little black streaks in the gutters. And I get people who said, but I just had mine done in June. And what I told that person was, it looks like you need to have it done now as well then. Maybe that they didn't have a good pressure washing company come out. Maybe they didn't do the best job. Could just be that the mold hits their house a little bit harder. We grow a lot of mold in our area. We got a lot of humidity throughout the year. It's kind of the way it is. Now, what I told several people was, had I been doing the inspection, I probably wouldn't have picked some of the houses to get notices that did. However, that's why I didn't do the inspection. I'm way too gentle on this particular area of HOA stuff. The financial side of it, I'll want to go after people who owe us money and make sure that they're paying us and give people an opportunity to fix things like that. When it comes to the side of the house where we're supposed to be making sure people are actually doing what they're supposed to with their homes, keeping their grass looking nice, getting rid of brown patches, doing some sort of weed and feed process, keeping your home pressure washed, making sure that painting's done, things like that. When it comes to that side of the house, I'm not as good at that. So I stepped back from it and asked somebody else on the board to be over top of that and keep an eye on it. And we all agreed on the board. We picked different jobs we're going to handle. And that way we can each focus on something that needs to get done. And in this case, Eric Barnes is in charge of the architectural committee, and he'll be in charge of making sure that that gets done, those enforcement measures. And in conjunction with Association Management Group, helping us out with the inspections. So it was a little brutal, I think, this week, obviously. We all got a real good hand slap, and when I say we all, I got one too, let's remember that. And I signed off on them. I knew they were coming, and I told them, go ahead and send the notices out. Let's get this done. And the management company said, you realize you're getting a trash can notice? And I'm like, yes, and I will comply. I will get architectural approval to build a blind. I will put my trash can behind the blind, and I will send a notice back to Ashley saying, I got it fixed. And please take notice of my blind and I'll make sure that I'm in compliance. And that's the way it works. So same thing if they come through and I haven't mowed my grass that week, I'll mow my grass. It's not a big deal. In fact, I need to mow my grass today. But I'm not saying that your house deserved what you got. If you didn't deserve what it got, then send in a notice and say, hey, I don't think my house deserves this and I think I'm free of it. But before you do that, make sure that I don't have to just grab a box of Clorox wipes, come over and wipe the side of your stuff to show you, yeah, you're still out, because you will get that fine, and it's $50 a day, and it'll build, or $50 every 2 weeks, I think it is. It'll build up very quickly, and from there, you could end up with bill collection. You could end up in foreclosure. None of that stuff that we want. That's by no means what the board of directors wants. We don't want your $50. We don't want your compounding fines. We don't want you to not have the ability to get things done. There is the ability to send a notice and say, hey, this is why I can't fix it. For instance, if you've got I don't know how many square feet, but your entire backyard is fenced in with one of those wooden fences, and it's falling over and looks bad. And it was there when you moved in, and it's been there for 8-9 years at this point, and it needs stained or replaced even. That could get expensive, and maybe you weren't planning to do that. So you need to reach out and say, hey, this is going to take me a little bit of time, but we need a plan. We need a plan in place. We can't just go with, I'm going to fix it anymore. It's got to fall in. We've got to get the regulation thing under control. And that's from the HOA point of view too. I've seen the things that are being stated about, well, the HOA needs to do better. I'll take all your money and I'll use it to fix as many things as I possibly can. We are running the budget really tight because we have a lot of things planned. We're replacing the landscaping company. If you did not know that, if you hadn't been paying attention to what's going on, the landscaping company, US Lawns, is out. Ellie is bringing in a new company, and that new company will hopefully do a much better job because they're brand new and they want us. Aquatech, I will not be renewing their contract this year. I'm taking over the pool stuff specifically, so I get to focus just on the pool. I will not be bringing Aquatech in. We got some new pool furniture in, new used pool furniture. That's to hopefully stave things off a little longer. We'll go into next season with that stuff too, unless I can get the reserve money to go and buy brand new pool furniture. Personally, when we went to get that stuff that we bought that's kind of a temporary fix, another patch on our needs, the stuff that they had just got at this particular complex where we bought that stuff from is beautiful. Super expensive, but beautiful. And that's just the way pool furniture is. It's not cheap unless you don't want it to last. And we are too poor to buy cheap as a community. We can't go out and buy 30 chairs that cost, from Home Store or something like that. They'll get broken. People are damaging and breaking the heavy duty industrial level, community level stuff that we've got. So there are things that we need to do at the pool. We just had the pressure washing done, but it'll need to be done again. And I may just do that myself the next time to make it really cheap for us and save us some money. But we need to pressure wash again up there and clean up going into next season. We need to paint the doors up there. The bathrooms are probably getting to the point where they need some painting done. I think we're good on the building as far as paint, but we'll see how that looks. I mean, we had 3 coats put on when we did that, and we only paid for 2. The guy had messed up with the color, and he came back and did a great job. We'll also need, there's supposed to be an eye wash station put in up there. I have to check with US Lawns, find out why that, or not US Lawns, Aquatech, find out why that hasn't been done, but the eye wash station was a compliance thing that was being done. Trying to think what else we need to do. Hopefully we'll get the concreting done inside the pool there so we won't have that grassy area anymore that's not useful. I'd like to put in at least a couple tables specifically for picnicking in that area. Maybe a little fenced in area so that you have a place where you can go in there and have like a little birthday party eating thing or something. That would include obviously some umbrellas of some sort. I'm thinking I'd like to get the board to approve maybe a grill or 2 in there. And again, I'm talking about that grassy area inside the pool. I'd like to fence that in with like a 4-foot fence, a little gate, and then you'd be able to go in there with little ones and let them eat and stuff, and you wouldn't have to worry that they're off running into the pool or something. I think it'd be good for birthday parties. You get a lot of people that say they want to have a birthday party, and that would be an area that we could say, this area is designated as something that you can use if it's available, but if it's booked, we could put up a little reserve sign or something. What else do we want to do up there? The mushrooms, they were going to get done at the beginning of this year. Timing didn't work out with the company, so I'm going to get with the company that was going to do it and have them, which is actually the guy from our neighborhood who built the pergola, Jason. He's got a business, which I'll make sure that everybody knows who his business is because he's done great work for us. But we'll get them to come in and actually redo the mushrooms for us the right way. We had them done 2 years ago, I think, 2-3 years ago, and they were done really poorly. Jason will do a much better job. So we'll get that done, but it's going to cost money. So obviously we could fine the HOA for failure to clean up the entrance and failure to fix up the pool the way we want it and stuff like that. But the HOA, when we fine the HOA, we're fining you, and then you and I pay the bill. So we just have to keep building in that direction. But this new board this year, everybody's got a task, everybody's got a job of some sort, and everybody is really focused on their thing, which is helping quite a bit. But don't expect things to change overnight. We've got to, just like with you in your home, we can't expect it to change overnight. Most of the stuff, sorry, I'm looking in the wrong direction. Most of the stuff is going to take at least that 2-week period to get fixed up, maybe longer. And if it's going to take longer, you need to come up with a plan, and you need to take the responsibility to reach out and say, here's why I can't do it right now. Here's what's going on. If you're 70 years old and you can't pressure wash your house and you don't have the money to have it pressure washed because you're on a fixed income for another month, then you need to reach out and you need to set that plan in motion. So remember, as always, we are your neighbors. The board of directors is doing what the overall community wants. Just because there's a few people on Facebook that are not happy with something doesn't mean overall the community isn't very happy. I see a lot of homes that need pressure washed throughout the neighborhood. Desperately need pressure washed. And then I also see the few that, you know, I probably wouldn't have picked on too much, but again, that's why I'm not the best one to do this. It needs to be done, it needs to be done, it needs to be done. So, it's been done, get it fixed. Please, we don't want your $50. We don't want you to have to spend a bunch of money on fines. We don't want to go to battle with you to clean up your neighborhood. We want everybody to just kind of fall in line. My more libertarian approach of let people do their thing and they'll figure it out isn't really working completely because a lot of people are taking advantage of that. So I'm stepping aside there. I'm letting somebody else take care of it. If you have any questions, as always, please reach out to AlmondGlen@gmail.com, AlmondGlenHOA@gmail.com. I also got to go up to the front and change the signs. I know the message has gotten old. I probably need to get like 4 or 5 people involved in that to kind of help out, but I think I'll get the other board members access to the keys and to the signage stuff so we can keep those messages rolling. Happy back to school for everybody. I hope that everybody's kids are enjoying school. We have a great new principal up there. Mr. Puckett was awesome. That's the only reason my kids still went to school up there, because of Mr. Puckett. But Miss Dalton's great too. She's doing a good job. I'm excited about school stuff. Excited about next season's pool season because we're going to wrap this up and we're going to get through the end of the year. And then I'm going to do my best to spend some money up there, get some things done. And we'll just keep working along. We'll keep plugging along. I mean, we've all lived here for several years. I'm not planning to move anytime soon. I have a very vested interest in our neighborhood looking nice because I'm not packing up and getting out of here in the next year or two. And to people who come on Facebook and say, you know, I moved out of the neighborhood because of this or that or whatever, that's a crazy reason to move. I doubt they mean it. I forget who that was, or I would name him very specifically right now, the Facebook comments, but those are silly. Don't pay attention to that stuff. You live in a beautiful neighborhood. It's a wonderful neighborhood. And I know that because I live here and I want to keep living here. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps. The 4 of you that'll watch this video, you're always informed. The rest of you, I wish you'd watch more and know what's going on in the neighborhood. Take care. Thanks. And let us know if you need anything.